talk about designated driver service.
Sure, we can talk about designated driver services. They're a great option for ensuring safety when someone has been drinking and can't drive home. Do you have any specific questions or aspects you're interested in discussing?
Yeah, in Korea, there is a very convenient service for drivers who have been drinking. People can request a designated driver for a fee. It's a great way to avoid driving under the influence. Last night, I was a little tipsy after a drink and I was unfit to drive. I had to call a designated driver service, but there were no drivers nearby, so I used a smartphone app instead. The app detected my location automatically, then it sent my call request to designated drivers in the vicinity. Finally, one driver accepted my request. I was able to even track the movements of the driver while he was headed to my location. The driver drove me home safely. I paid with my credit card that was linked to the app. That's all.
That sounds like a really efficient and safe way to handle situations where someone might be unfit to drive. Using an app to connect with a designated driver makes the process seamless and quick, especially with features like location tracking and easy payment options. It's great to hear that such services are readily available and user friendly. This approach not only ensures your safety, but also contributes to overall road safety. Have you used this service often, or was this one of your first experiences with it?
That was my first experience.
That's quite an interesting first experience. It's good to know that the service was convenient and helpful for you.
Mhm.
Using a designated driver service is a responsible choice, especially for a first timer. Do you think you'll use this service again in the future based on your experience?
Yeah, as you mentioned, that it was very convenient and helpful. So next time, I will use it again.
That's great to hear. It's reassuring to know you have a reliable and convenient option for safe transportation after a night out. Remember, it's always better to be safe and use services like these whenever necessary.
Mhm.
Do you have any other thoughts or questions about designated driver services or similar topics?
Mm, I have a question about the key expressions like be a little tipsy. What is the meaning of tipsy exactly mean?
Tipsy is a term often used to describe a state where a person has consumed alcohol and is slightly affected by it, but not heavily intoxicated. When someone is tipsy, they might feel a bit more relaxed or cheerful, and their coordination or judgment could be mildly impaired, but they're not severely drunk. It's a lighter, more casual way of saying someone has had a few drinks and is feeling the effects, but not to an extreme degree.
Mm.
It's a good sign to be cautious, like deciding not to drive, even if you're just feeling tipsy. Does that help clarify the term for you?
Yeah, tipsy means not severely drunken, slightly affected alcohol. Am I right?
Exactly, you've got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Tipsy refers to being slightly affected by alcohol, but not severely drunk. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lighter, more moderate state of intoxication. It's good
Mm-hmm.
to be aware of this level of intoxication, especially in situations like deciding whether or not to drive.
Mm.
Anything else you're curious about?
Yeah, be unfit to drive. What does unfit mean exactly?
Unfit to drive means not being in a suitable condition to operate a vehicle safely. This could be due to various reasons, such as being under the influence of alcohol or drugs, feeling extremely tired, or having a medical condition that impairs your ability to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if someone is unfit to drive, it means they're not capable of driving a car safely at that moment. It's an important consideration for road safety. Does that explanation make sense?
Yeah, that's that makes sense. not suitable condition for drive because of the drugs or unhealthy condition or because of the drinking, something like that, right?
Yes, exactly. Being unfit to drive covers situations where a person's ability to safely operate a vehicle is compromised, like due to alcohol, drugs, illness, or extreme fatigue. It's all about ensuring safety for both the driver and others on the road. Do you have any more questions or anything else you'd like to talk about?
Yes. In the vicinity means nearby, similar to nearby. What is different from nearby and compared to in the vicinity? What is the difference? Nearby and vicinity.
In the vicinity and nearby are indeed quite similar and often used interchangeably. However, there's a subtle difference in their connotations. One, in the vicinity, often implies being in the general area or region around a particular point. It suggests a slightly broader area than nearby. Two, nearby usually means very close to a specific location, often within a short walking or driving distance. So if something is in the vicinity, it might be a bit further away than if it's described as nearby. But in everyday use, these differences are quite subtle and they're generally understood to mean the same thing, close to a specific location. Does that help clear up the difference for you?
So you mean the in the vicinity means general area and broaden area, and nearby is a little bit more close and short walking, kind of short walking.
Yes, you've summarized it perfectly. In the vicinity tends to refer to a broader area around a certain point, while nearby implies a closer, more immediate proximity, like within a short walking distance. Both terms indicate something is close, but nearby usually suggests it's closer than in the vicinity. It's a subtle distinction, but can be useful to know. Any other questions or topics on your mind?
I have three pattern practice. One, driving under the influence, DUI. Second, be a little tipsy. Third, be unfit to drive. Could you make a small story using three sentences?
Sure, I can create a short story using those phrases. After attending a lively office party, Jason realized he was a little tipsy and unfit to drive. Remembering the dangers of driving under the influence DUI, he wisely decided not to risk it. Instead, he called a designated driver service to take him home safely.
Mm.
This story highlights the importance of making responsible choices regarding alcohol and driving. Do you have any other requests or need more examples?
No, that's perfect. And now I'm gonna practice dialogue practice with you. I have five sentences like A, B, A, B. A, I've only had one beer. I think I can drive. B, don't even think about it. You should never drink and drive. A, okay, I'll call a designated driver service. B, good idea. I can do it for you if you want. A, no, that's okay. I can use this app. So in this time, I'm gonna A first, and you're gonna B. Could you practice?
Absolutely. Let's practice the dialogue. You can start with your first sentence whenever you're ready.
I've only had one beer. I think I can drive.
Don't even think about it. You should never drink and drive.
Okay, I'll call a designated driver service.
Good idea. I can do it for you if you want.
No, that's okay. I can use this app.
Great. It sounds like you're making a smart and safe choice.
Mhm.
Using an app for a designated driver service is so convenient. Do you want to go through any more practice or discuss anything else?
Yeah, in this time, you're gonna be A, I'm gonna be B. So let's practice.
All right, I'll start as A. I've only had one beer. I think I can drive.
Don't even think about it. You should never drink and drive.
Okay, I'll call a designated driver service.
Good idea. I can do for you if you want.
No, that's okay. I can use this app.
In this time, I have four sentences. Like first, I was too tired to drive her home. Second, he knew he was unfit to drive. Third, I want to track the movements of my child throughout the day. Fourth, we laughed a lot because we were a little tipsy. Could you make a small story about?
Sure, let's create a story with those sentences. Last night, after a long day at work, I was too tired to drive her home. My
Mm.
friend noticed my exhaustion and said, you're really unfit to drive right now. Concerned about her safety, I agreed and decided to call a taxi for her. Meanwhile, I remembered my promise to my wife about our son. So I opened the family tracking app saying, I need to track the movement